The paternity report trembled in my hands as I stood in our anniversary suite. Probability of biological relationship 0% for all 3 children. The champagne I'd ordered sat unopened on the marble counter. 20 years of marriage crystallized in a single moment of destruction. I need to back up. 3 weeks ago, my daughter Emma came home from her college genetics class with those DNA test kits, the ones everyone's doing for fun, to trace ancestry, find distant cousins. "Come on, Dad," she'd laughed, waving the box. "Let's see if we're really as Irish as Grandma always claimed." My wife Sarah had smiled from the kitchen, flour on her hands from making our son's birthday cake. "Go ahead, honey," though I already know what mine will say, boring English all the way down. The kids thought it would be hilarious. Mike, our oldest at 22, fresh out of college, Emma, 19, studying pre-med, and Jake, our youngest at 17, still deciding between art school and engineering. They all spit in their tubes, making faces, turning it into a competition of who could produce saliva fastest. Sarah laughed, that same laugh that made me fall in love with her at Brian's barbecue 23 years ago. I should have noticed how her laugh caught at the end. The results came while Sarah was visiting her mother in Florida. I'd planned it as a surprise for our anniversary, frame the ancestry reports, make a family tree, maybe even book a trip to Ireland if the percentages were high enough. The email notifications came through one by one. Emma's first, then Jake's, then Mike's, then mine. The app has this feature where it shows genetic connections between family members who've tested. It builds a little web, parent to child, sibling to sibling. The web should have connected us all. It connected none of us. Well, that's not accurate. It connected the kids to each other as half siblings. Half. The hotel room spins now as I remember calling the company. Surely a mistake, a lab error, contamination. The customer service representative, her voice professionally sympathetic, explained that while errors were possible, 3 simultaneous errors affecting only the paternal connections while accurately showing maternal ones. Sir, the probability of that would be less than winning the lottery 3 times in a row. The champagne bottle sits there still. Dom Perignon 2003, the year we married. I'd saved for 6 months to afford it. My phone buzzes with Sarah's text. "Just landed. Can't wait for tonight. 20 years, baby." 20 years. If you've ever questioned everything about your life in a single moment, you know this feeling, like drowning in air. The second test kit arrives by overnight delivery. Different company, more expensive. They promise 99.99% accuracy, legal grade results suitable for court proceedings. The woman at the lab draws my blood herself, checks my ID 3 times. "We take chain of custody very seriously," she assures me. "Whatever you need these results for, they'll hold up." I test the kids again too, telling them the first company wanted verification samples for a research study. Jake rolls his eyes. "Free money for spit? Sure, Dad." Emma's more suspicious. She's always been observant, gets it from, well, apparently not from me. "You okay, Dad? You seem stressed." "Just work stuff, sweetheart." The technician at the second lab, a young man with kind eyes behind thick glasses, walks me through the science when I pick up the results. "We test 24 different genetic markers," he explains. "The probability of paternity, when positive, is typically 99.99%. When negative, it's 0. There's no gray area in modern testing." He slides 3 folders across the desk. Each has a name typed on the tab. Michael David Patterson, Emma Grace Patterson, Jacob Thomas Patterson. "I'm sorry," he says quietly, and I realize he's already looked at them. "All 3? My voice sounds like someone else's. "All 3, sir. Would you like me to explain the—" "No, thank you." In my car, I open each folder. The language is clinical, definitive. The alleged father is excluded as the biological father of the tested child. Times 3. 3 separate exclusions, 3 separate betrayals, or 1 betrayal with... The math makes me pull over and vomit on the side of Route 9. 3 children, 3 different patterns of paternal DNA, 3 different fathers, none of them me. The wedding album sits on our coffee table when I get home. Sarah must have pulled it out for our anniversary. She's always been sentimental like that. I've looked at these photos thousands of times. Now I see them differently. There's Sarah in her dress, radiant, perfect. There's me, young and stupid and so in love I couldn't see straight. There's her sister Amy as maid of honor. There's my brother Tom, and there are my 4 groomsmen. Brian, my best friend since high school, Marcus, my college roommate, James from my first job, and Derek, Sarah's cousin who I'd included to make her family feel welcomed. I pull out a magnifying glass, an actual magnifying glass, like some detective in a bad movie, and study their faces. Study Sarah's face as she looks at them during the reception. Study the dancing photos, the bachelor party photos that made it into the album, the tame ones. Wait, the dates. I grab a calculator, though the math is simple enough. Mike was born almost exactly 9 months after the wedding. We'd always joked about our wedding night baby, how we didn't waste any time. Emma came 3 years later, conceived during that vacation to... No, wait, I was at a conference that week. I remember because Sarah had called crying about her grandmother being in the hospital, and I couldn't get a flight back, and Jake would have been conceived right around the time of my father's funeral, when I was in Michigan for 2 weeks handling the estate. The magnifying glass slips from my hand. 4 groomsmen, 3 children. The math was horrifying. I pull out my phone and scroll through old emails, old texts that I've never deleted. Sarah's messages during those times. Brian stopped by to check on me while you were at the conference. So sweet of him. Marcus brought dinner over after the funeral. You have such thoughtful friends. James fixed the sink while you were in Michigan. Saved us a plumber bill. And Derek, who lived 2 towns over, who always seemed to be around for Sunday dinners, who taught Jake to throw a baseball because I was working too much. The prenup we'd signed, Sarah's father had insisted, wanting to protect his daughter, sits in our filing cabinet. I pull it out, my hands steady now with purpose instead of shock. My lawyer, Daniel, answers on the second ring even though it's past 9 at night. Tom, what's wrong? I need you to look at something in my prenup, the infidelity clause. There's a pause. Tom, it's your anniversary. What's going on? Please, Daniel, just look. I hear papers rustling over the phone. Okay, it's pretty standard. Infidelity voids the protected asset provisions, forfeits claim to marital assets acquired prior to... Wait. More rustling. There's an addendum here. Did you know about this? What addendum? Systematic deception clause. It was added by Sarah's father, apparently. In the event of prolonged systematic deception regarding fundamental aspects of the marriage, including but not limited to paternity fraud? Jesus, Tom. He knew. The old bastard knew something might happen. My phone buzzes. Sarah again. Where are you? The restaurant called and said you canceled? It's our anniversary. I look at the wedding album again, at her father in the photos, stern-faced even at his daughter's wedding. He died 5 years ago, took whatever he knew with him, but he left me this, a legal parachute hidden in plain sight. Daniel, I say, I need you to recommend a family lawyer, the best one you know. Tom, what's happening? I also need you to look up something called paternity fraud, whether it's a crime in our state. Tom, all 3 kids, Daniel. 20 years of marriage and all 3 kids. The silence stretches so long I think we've disconnected. Finally, Jesus Christ, where are you now? Home. She's on her way back from dinner. She thinks I'm planning anniversary surprises. You need to record the conversation. Our state is one-party consent. Your phone will do. Tom, I'm sorry, but you need to document everything from this moment forward. I pull out my voice recorder, the one I use for work meetings. set up my phone as backup, spread the DNA reports across the kitchen table in a careful fan, like dealing cards, the wedding album open to the groomsmen photo, birth certificates lined up with conception calendars I've printed, 20 years of deception laid out like evidence in a courtroom. The children's drawings still hang on our refrigerator. Even though they're all teenagers or older now, Sarah keeps their old art up. Best dad ever in Emma's 5-year-old handwriting, a crayon drawing of our family by Jake, all stick figures holding hands. Mike's Father's Day poem from 3rd grade, my dad is strong and smart and kind, the best dad anyone could find. The garage door rumbles open. She walks in wearing the necklace I gave her for our loyalty. Tom? Sarah's voice carries that light anniversary excitement as she sets her purse on the counter. Why are all the lights off except... She stops, sees the table, sees the papers spread out like a prosecutor's case. What is this? Sit down, Sarah. Tom, you're scaring me. What's going on? But she's already looking at the DNA results, and I watch 20 years of careful construction crack across her face. All 3, I say. Want to explain how that's possible? She sinks into the chair, her chair, the one she sat in for 20 years of family dinners. Her hand goes to the necklace, the loyalty pendant I'd inscribed with forever faithful on our 10th anniversary. The irony makes my throat close. Tom, there must be a mistake. 2 different companies. Blood tests the second time. Legal chain of custody. I tap the reports. Probability of paternity, 0% for all 3. That's impossible. That's what I said. Then I did the math. I slide the conception calendars across to her. Mike, 9 months after our wedding. Emma, while I was at the Chicago conference. Jake during my father's funeral. 3 different DNA patterns on the paternal side. 3 different fathers. Sarah, none of them me. She's shaking now, tears starting. Tom, please, let me explain. Were they all groomsmen, or did you branch out? Don't. Don't what? Don't ask why my entire life is a lie. Don't wonder which of my friends fucked my wife. Don't question why I've been raising other men's children for 20 years. The neighbor's dog starts barking. Voices carry through these old walls. Sarah flinches. Please, can we... The kids could come home. The kids are at their friends' houses. I made sure. Now answer the question. She takes a breath that seems to pull from somewhere deep, somewhere I've never seen. It wasn't supposed to happen. Which time? The first, the second, the third. The first time it was the bachelor party. The room tilts. The bachelor party was 2 nights before the wedding. I know. Her voice is tiny. You were all so drunk. Brian called me to come get you. You'd passed out in his apartment and what, Sarah? You decided to fuck him while I was unconscious in the next room? No, God, no, it wasn't. I was drunk too. We'd had my bachelorette party the same night, remember? I came to get you and Brian, So Mike is Brian's. She nods, tears flowing freely now. I didn't know. Not for sure. Not until he started looking just like Brian's baby pictures. By then, what could I do? Destroy our marriage? Destroy your friendship for one drunken mistake? And Emma? Marcus. The name falls like a stone into water. You were gone, and I was lonely, and he kept coming over to help with Mike, and it just happened. It just happened. Like weather, like gravity. No choice involved. I'm not saying that. And Jake? She's sobbing now, but I feel nothing. 20 years of love frozen into Arctic rage. Tom, please. Who is Jake's father? Derek. Her cousin. Her fucking cousin who I'd made a groomsman to welcome her family. The one who taught my son, not my son, to play baseball. Your cousin. Second cousin. And we didn't grow up together. It's not... Oh, well, that makes it fine then. Stop it. Stop what? Stop being upset that my wife has been lying to me for 2 decades. Stop wondering if anything about our marriage was real. Everything else was real. I love you, Tom. I've always loved you. You have a funny way of showing it. It wasn't like that. It wasn't an affair, any of them. They were mistakes, moments of weakness. 3 moments, 3 different men, 3 children that aren't mine. But you're their father. You raised them, changed their diapers, taught them to ride bikes, went to every game, every recital. While you knew, this whole time you knew. She stands up, pacing now, her anniversary dress swishing against the kitchen tiles. I suspected. I didn't know for sure. Bullshit. I didn't. Not until they got older and started looking like their fathers, their real fathers. You're their real father. No, Sarah, I'm just the man you tricked into paying for them. The slap comes fast, surprising both of us. My cheek stings, but I don't move. Feel better? How can you say that? You love those children. I do, which is why this is even worse. You didn't just betray me, Sarah. You betrayed them. You built their entire lives on a lie. I protected them, and you. Would it have been better to blow up our family? Our family? Our family? I laugh, and it sounds like breaking glass. We don't have a family. You have 3 children by 3 different men, and I'm just the babysitter who didn't know he was babysitting. That's not fair. Fair? I pull out my phone. Let me show you fair. James sent this to me last month from his old camcorder. He was digitizing his old tapes, found something interesting. The video is grainy, time-stamped May 15th, 2003, our wedding reception. But this is after the official videographer left, after most of the guests had gone. The camera is sitting on a table, forgotten, still recording. In the corner of the frame, barely visible, 2 figures in an alcove. Sarah in her wedding dress, Brian in his groomsmen tux. They're not fucking. It's worse. They're talking, intimate, her hand on his chest. The audio is faint, but enhanced. I paid a professional to clean it up. You can hear, after tonight, we can't... That's Brian. I know. Sarah's voice. But thank you for earlier. At your apartment, I needed to know. Know what? That I'm making the right choice. Are you? Tom's a good man. He'll be a good father. Even if... He'll never know. The video cuts. Sarah has gone pale, her hand at her throat. You had no right. I had no right. I had no right. The neighbor's dog is barking again. I lower my voice. You fucked another man 2 nights before our wedding, got pregnant, knew there was a chance the baby wasn't mine, and you think I had no right to investigate when I found out? That video doesn't prove... It proves you knew from the beginning. He'll never know, you said. Well, guess what? He knows now. What do you want me to say, Tom? That I'm sorry? I am. I'm so fucking sorry. But I can't change the past. No. But you could have told me the truth. Any time in the last 20 years, you could have told me. When? When should I have told you? When Mike was born and you cried holding him. When Emma took her first steps to you. When Jake called you Dada. When exactly should I have destroyed you? Instead, you destroyed me now. When they're grown. When I can't get back the years I lost believing they were mine. They are yours. DNA says otherwise. Fuck DNA. You think biology makes a father? You think Jake gives a shit about DNA when he calls you for advice? You think Emma cares about genetics when she still asks you to check for monsters, metaphorical ones now, boys who might break her heart? You think Mike thinks about chromosomes when he tells people his dad is his hero? Don't. Don't what? Don't remind you that you're their father in every way that matters? Don't use them to justify what you did. I'm not justifying anything. I'm trying to make you understand. Understand what? That you're sorry you got caught? She stops pacing, turns to face me fully. You want the whole truth? Fine. It wasn't just one time with any of them. It wasn't just drunken mistakes. The room goes cold. What? It wasn't just one of them, it was a tradition. My stomach turns to lead. A tradition. Every major event, bachelor party, your conference, your father's funeral, and others. Others? Tom, how many others? Does it matter? Were there other pregnancies? Silence. Sarah, were there other pregnancies? I terminated one when Jake was 2. You were in London for 3 weeks. Whose? James. 4 groomsmen. 4. The perfect symmetry of betrayal. So they all knew. All 4 of them knew. No. Brian and Marcus knew about each other. Derek and James didn't know about any of it. They thought they were the only ones. And you? What did you think you were doing? She sits back down, suddenly looking older than her 43 years. I thought I was managing, compartmentalizing, keeping everyone happy. Everyone except me, apparently. You were happy. Don't pretend you weren't. We had a good life, a good marriage. Built on lies. Built on love. I loved you, Tom. I still love you. You don't fuck 4 other men when you love someone. You don't understand? Then make me understand. Explain to me how you accidentally fucked my 4 best friends over the course of our marriage. Explain how that happens. She's quiet for a long moment. When she speaks, her voice is different, harder, more honest than I've maybe ever heard it. You want to know the truth? The real truth? That would be refreshing. I was scared. Of what? Of you. Of how much I loved you. Of how perfect you were. She laughs, bitter. Tom Patterson, the golden boy, successful, handsome, kind, faithful. Everyone loved you. Everyone wanted to be you or be with you. And I was just me. So you fucked my friends because I was too good to you. I fucked your friends because I needed to feel like I had power. Like I had something that was just mine. Secrets, choices, things you couldn't control or be perfect at. That's sick. Maybe, but it's true. And the children? Were accidents every time. I was on birth control, but birth control fails when you're fucking multiple people frequently enough. Yes. The digital clock on the microwave ticks over to 11:47. 13 minutes until our anniversary officially ends. I pull out the prenup, the lawyer's notes clip to it. Your father knew, didn't he? That's why he insisted on the paternity fraud clause. Sarah's face changes. My father was paranoid or prophetic. Did you tell him? No, but he saw Mike once when Mike was about 5. Said something about how genetics are funny, how sometimes kids look nothing like their parents. The way he said it, he knew, and he protected me. He protected his money. Either way, I'm grateful. I slide the prenup across to her. You'll want to have your lawyer review this. The house is mine. Premarital asset. Your car's paid off, that's yours. The joint accounts will be split, but the business accounts are protected. You'll get standard support for a woman with a college degree and work history. Should be about $3,000 a month for 2 years. Tom, the kids' college funds stay with me. I'll make sure they're taken care of. They're innocent in this. You can't just... I will. Daniel's already started the paperwork. What about the kids? What are you going to tell them? That question has been eating at me since the moment I saw the results. I don't know yet. You can't tell them. It would destroy them. Like it destroyed me? Tom, please, they worship you. Finding out it would ruin their relationship with me, with you, with everything stable in their lives. Maybe you should have thought about that before... The front door opens. Mom? Dad? It's Jake, home early. We both freeze. In the kitchen, buddy, I call out, my voice forcibly normal. He bounds in, all teenage energy, then stops. Sees the papers, sees our faces. What's wrong? Did someone die? Sarah starts to speak, but I cut her off. Jake, sit down. Dad, you're freaking me out. I know, I'm sorry, but you need to know something. I look at Sarah, who's shaking her head, pleading with her eyes. But secrets are what got us here. Those DNA tests we did, there was a problem with the results. What kind of problem? I hand him his report, the simplified version that shows genetic connections, or lack thereof. He's smart, takes after Sarah in that way. I watch him read, watch understanding dawn. This says you're not... He looks up at me, then at his mother. Mom? Sarah is crying again. Jake, baby, it doesn't matter. Dad is your dad. But he's not. That's what this says. He's not my biological father. Jake's voice is cracking. Who is? That doesn't matter. Sarah starts. Derek, I say quietly. Derek is your biological father. Jake stands up so fast his chair falls over. Uncle Derek? Mom, you fucked Uncle Derek. Jake! Sarah gasps. Is that why he was always around? Why he taught me baseball because he knew? No, I say firmly. Derek didn't know. I just found out myself. What about Mike and Emma? Are they... No, different biological fathers. Jake laughs, high and slightly hysterical. Different? So Mom just fucked everyone? Jake, please. Sarah reaches for him, but he pulls back. Don't touch me. Don't fucking touch me. He turns to me. Did you know? This whole time, did you know? No, I found out 3 days ago. And you're leaving her? Jake, are you leaving? I look at this boy I raised, taught to tie his shoes, to drive, to be a good man. I'm divorcing your mother, but I'm not leaving you. Any of you. But you're not my dad. I am your dad. In every way that matters. Don't. Just don't. He backs toward the door. I need to go. Jake, wait. But he's gone, the front door slamming behind him. Sarah rounds on me. How could you? How could I tell the truth? How novel for this family. He's 17. He can't handle this. Neither could I. But here we are. My phone buzzes. It's Mike, texting from his apartment near campus. Jake just called me crying. What the fuck is going on? Then Emma from her dorm. Dad, Jake's saying crazy things about DNA tests. Please call me. The camera kept rolling after everyone thought it stopped. The courthouse feels like a hospital. Too bright, too clean, too full of broken people pretending to be whole. Sarah's lawyer, a sharp woman named Patricia Hendricks, sits across from us at the mediation table. Sarah won't look at me. She's lost weight these past 6 weeks, her wedding ring replaced by a pale band of skin. My client is willing to accept the standard support arrangement, Patricia says, but we need to discuss custody. Custody? Daniel, my lawyer, raises an eyebrow. Mr. Patterson isn't the biological father. He has no legal obligation. He's been their father for their entire lives. Patricia counters. Psychological parentage laws don't typically apply in cases of paternity fraud. Daniel slides a folder across the table. We've prepared documentation showing systematic deception over 20 years, 4 different biological fathers, intentional concealment. Judge Morrison, our mediator, is a small woman with sharp eyes who's seen every kind of family destruction imaginable. She reviews the papers, her expression neutral. Mr. Patterson, what are your intentions regarding the children? I want to remain in their lives if they'll have me, but I want it official that I'm choosing this, not being obligated. You want to hurt me, Sarah says quietly, her first words in an hour. No, I want it clear that whatever relationship I have with them going forward is because of love, not because of lies. The judge nods. There's precedent for voluntary adoption in cases like this. You would formally adopt them, giving you legal rights and responsibilities, but it would be clearly documented that you're aware of the biological facts. That's acceptable. Sarah's voice cracks. You're adopting them just to prove a point. I'm adopting them because they're my kids. Biology be damned. But yes, I want the paper trail to show exactly what happened here. Your Honor, Patricia interjects, we also need to address the issue of the biological fathers. My client has concerns about potential custody claims from the men who've been notified they have children they never knew about. I lean forward. Yes, let's discuss that. The notifications went out 2 weeks ago. Court-ordered DNA tests for Brian, Marcus, Derek, and James. The results were exactly what we expected. The aftermath was not. Brian's wife called me the night he got the results. 20 years, she sobbed into the phone. 20 years I've been trying to get pregnant thinking it was me, and he has a son with her? Marcus lost his engagement. His fiancée found the court papers before he could explain. Derek's wife filed for divorce the same day. Turns out Sarah wasn't his only secret. James was the only one who seemed unsurprised. I wondered, he told me when we met for coffee, surreal, having coffee with the man who fathered a child with my wife. Jake looks just like my brother did at that age. And you never said anything. What was I supposed to say? Hey, Tom, I think I might have knocked up your wife during your dad's funeral. Besides, you were happy. The kids were happy. Why destroy that? Because it was built on lies. Everything's built on lies, Tom. The question is whether they're lies worth keeping. Now, in the courthouse, Judge Morrison reviews the biological father's statements. Mr. Brennan seeks partial custody of Michael. Mr. Davis wants visitation rights with Emma. Mr. Wilson and Mr. Chen have declined any claims to parental rights. Brian can't just, Sarah starts. He can, and he is, Patricia says gently. He has biological standing. After 20 years of nothing? He didn't know, I say, and Sarah flinches. None of them knew they had children. You took that choice from them too. The judge sets a hearing date. 3 weeks. Family court will decide if the biological fathers have any rights to the children they never knew existed. My phone buzzes. Emma. Dad, we're here. All 3 kids wanted to come today to speak to the judge. I tried to talk them out of it, but Emma, stubborn like her mother, insisted. We have a right to be heard. They file in, my children who aren't my children, looking older than their years. Mike in his suit from job interviews. Emma in her professional best. Jake in the only nice jacket he owns, the one I bought him for homecoming. The court recognizes Michael, Emma, and Jacob Patterson, Judge Morrison says formally. You've requested to make statements. Mike stands first. He's got notes because he's methodical like that. I used to think he got it from me. Your Honor, I've had 6 weeks to process the fact that my biological father is a man I've called Uncle Brian my whole life. 6 weeks to rewrite 22 years of history. And you know what I've realized? It doesn't matter. He turns to look at me. This man taught me to ride a bike. He stayed up all night when I had pneumonia at age 4. He drove 14 hours straight to bring me my lucky jersey when I forgot it for the state championship. He worked 2 jobs to pay for my college. Biology didn't do that. Love did. Mike pulls out a document. This is a petition for adult adoption. I want Thomas Patterson to be my legal father by choice this time. Both of ours. Emma stands next. She's been crying. Her mascara is smudged despite her efforts to fix it. I found out my biological father is Marcus Davis on the same day I got accepted to medical school. You want to know what Marcus said when the court contacted him? He wanted to know if I'd be interested in meeting him. You know what my dad said? He said, I'm so proud of you, Em. Same thing he's said my whole life. She takes a breath. Marcus might have contributed DNA, but Dad contributed everything else. Your Honor, genetics make us human. Love makes us family. Jake stands last, my artist, my sensitive soul. He pulls out a piece of paper, not notes, but a drawing. It's our family, but done in his new style, the one he's been developing for art school applications. We're all connected by these golden threads that weave between us, creating a web that's both delicate and unbreakable. I drew this last night, he says. It's called Dad by choice. Because that's what you are, Dad. You could have walked away when you found out. Most men would have. But you're here, fighting to be our father, even though DNA says you don't have to. That makes you more of a father than biology ever could. He sets the drawing on the judge's desk. I don't want to meet Derek Wilson. I don't care that we share DNA. He's nothing to me. The man who taught me to paint, who never missed an art show, who still has my kindergarten drawings in his office, that's my father. That's the only father I recognize. Sarah is sobbing quietly. Patricia hands her tissues. Judge Morrison clears her throat. The court recognizes the stated preferences of the adult and near-adult children. Mr. Patterson, are you prepared to proceed with formal adoption? Yes, Your Honor. Mrs. Patterson, do you consent to the adoption? Sarah nods, unable to speak. Let the record show that adoption proceedings will begin immediately. The judge's voice softens slightly. Mr. Patterson, you should know that 2 of the biological fathers have withdrawn their custody claims as of this morning. What? Mr. Brennan and Mr. Davis both submitted statements saying that after reflection they recognize that disrupting the children's lives would be harmful. They're willing to waive parental rights. I look at Daniel, who shrugs. He didn't know either. However, the judge continues, there are other matters to address. Mrs. Patterson, you've been charged with paternity fraud by the state prosecutor's office. Sarah's head snaps up. What? That's not... Tom, did you... I didn't file criminal charges. The state did that on their own after reviewing the civil case. Paternity fraud is a felony in the state, Judge Morrison explains. When it involves multiple instances over decades, with financial damages exceeding $500,000 in child support and education costs. Tom, please, Sarah turns to me. The kids will be fine. Patricia, you should advise your client to take the plea deal they'll offer. Probation, community service, and restitution. No jail time if she cooperates. You calculated this, Sarah says. You want me to be a convicted felon? I want consequences. For once in 20 years, I want there to be consequences for lies. 3 weeks pass. The news gets out. Small-town gossip travels at light speed. Brian's wife calls again, this time to tell me she's pregnant. Ironic, right? He finally tells me the truth about everything, and boom, pregnant. Congratulations. Tom, I'm sorry for what he did, for what they all did. You didn't do anything wrong. Neither did you. Remember that. Marcus sends a letter through his lawyer asking if Emma would consider meeting him once, just once, for medical history purposes. Emma tears it up. I have all the medical history I need. Derek moves to California. His divorce was brutal. Turns out Sarah wasn't his only affair, just his longest-running one. His ex-wife, Melanie, meets me for coffee and compares notes. We laugh until we cry, then cry until we laugh again. 20 years of thinking I was paranoid, she says. 20 years of him telling me I was crazy for being suspicious. James is the only one who maintains any dignity. He sets up education trusts for all 3 kids, anonymous donations that will pay for graduate school. He sends me a note. I can't undo the past, but I can try to make the future better. They're good kids, Tom. You did that. The final divorce hearing is on a Thursday. Sarah's lost everything. The house, half her friends, her reputation. She's moving in with her sister in Connecticut, starting over. I know you hate me, she says as we wait for the judge. I don't hate you. That would require feeling something. That's worse. Maybe. For what it's worth, I'm in therapy now, trying to understand why I did it, why I kept doing it. And my therapist says it was about control, about feeling like I had power in a relationship where I felt powerless. I never tried to control you. No, you were just perfect, and that's its own kind of prison. Judge Morrison enters. The divorce is finalized in 12 minutes. 20 years ended with a stamp and a signature. Outside the courthouse, Sarah stops me. Tom, will you let me see them? The kids? That's their choice, not mine. But you won't poison them against me? I don't need to. The truth is, poison enough. She nods, walks to her car, the one thing she got to keep, then turns back. I did love you. Whatever else was lies, that was true. I know. That's what makes it worse. 6 months later, I'm standing in a different courthouse. The adoption is finalized. All 3 kids legally mine now by choice rather than chance. Mike brings champagne, non-alcoholic for Jake. Emma brings a cake she made herself, chocolate with vanilla frosting that says family by choice in her careful handwriting. Jake brings a new painting. It's the 4 of us at the courthouse steps, but painted like a classical portrait, formal, dignified, eternal. At the bottom, in gold lettering, the Patterson family established 2003, rebuilt 2025. We should get an official photo, Emma says, to mark the occasion. We hire a photographer right there at the courthouse. 4 people who chose each other, standing on the steps of justice. The photo will replace the old family portrait, the one built on lies. Dad, Jake says as we're leaving, are you dating Melanie? Derek's ex-wife and I have been having dinner occasionally. 2 people who understand betrayal, finding comfort in shared experience. We're friends. Mom says you're dating. Mom's wrong about a lot of things. But not about that? I smile. Not about that. Good, Emma says. You deserve to be happy. I am happy. Happier than... Mike's phone buzzes. It's his girlfriend asking how the adoption went. He shows me her text. Tell your dad congratulations on officially becoming the world's best dad. She's not wrong, Mike says. You're biased. By choice, all 3 kids say in unison, and we laugh. The truth didn't destroy us. It freed us. That night, I'm home in the house that's too big for just me, but perfect for when the kids visit. The old wedding album is in a box in the garage, alongside 20 years of fake family photos. But the new pictures are going up. The adoption day, Emma's medical school acceptance, Mike's graduation, Jake's art show award. My phone buzzes with a text from a number I don't recognize. It's a photo from Brian's wife, their new baby boy. His middle name is Thomas, the message says, because we want him to know that integrity matters more than biology. I forward the photo to Mike. He responds immediately. Weird to have a brother I'll never meet. You have a brother you see every day, Jake. True. Biology's overrated anyway. Emma calls from her dorm. Dad, I've been thinking about specializing in genetics. Ironic, right? Why genetics? Because I want to study what really makes families. Hint, it's not DNA. That's my girl. By choice, she says, and I can hear her smile. Jake texts from his friend's house. Mom called. She wants to know if I'll see her for Christmas. Will you? Maybe, if you're okay with it. I'm okay with whatever you need. Thanks, Dad. Real Dad. Only Dad. The house is quiet now, but it's a different quiet than 6 months ago. Then it was the silence of destruction. Now it's the peace of rebuilding. Tomorrow Mike's coming for dinner. This weekend, Emma needs help moving to a new apartment. Next week, Jake has an art show. Life goes on. Different than before, maybe better because it's honest now. I pull out my laptop and start typing. Someone suggested I write our story, turn it into something that might help others. The first line comes easily. Family isn't found in DNA, it's built in devotion. The motif that's carried us through. The truth that DNA tests revealed by trying to destroy. My phone buzzes one last time tonight. It's a comment on the adoption photo Mike posted. Your family is beautiful. Yes, we are. If you've made it this far in our story, maybe you're dealing with your own questions about family, about truth, about what makes someone a parent. Here's what I've learned. Blood makes you related, but choice makes you family. And choosing to love someone after the truth comes out. That's the most powerful love of all. Share your own story of chosen family below, because I've learned we're not as alone as we think we are. We never are.